And I've always had that mindset too. Like, I'm a hustler. I've had no parents since 16. I've worked without a net since 16. I've been hustling since 16, and I believe in a blue collar work ethic in a white collar world. You know what I mean? And I think that's what comedians mostly are. Because I was about to say,
you have a blue collar work ethic, but then a white collar weed addiction. I don't have a friend. I have very few friends who smell like weed as much as you do. I feel like I could come to your house. You're just getting out of the shower,
right out front smoking. I thought you were up here. I was taking my time. I got here early to have one to relax. I was nervous.
You got a freshman college weed habit.
It's the only thing I'm allowed to do. I just had this whole incident where I almost died in January. My lungs clotted. I was in the hospital. I've been talking about this everywhere. So
wait a second.
Yeah, I
haven't seen you since this.
Yeah, I just went in for a simple 3-hour back procedure,
right?
Outpatient procedure, and then it didn't heal right. So they opened me back up. There was a little tear. They stitched it back up. Good to go. But now 2 back-to-back surgeries, it's just taking its time healing. So like you need to lay in the hospital and just recover. But I also know I have this genetic blood disease from my dad, lefty, which makes me his fucking kid for sure. And I know I'm prone to clotting. It's called factor V Light, and my blood's like syrup. So I have to keep my machine moving. And I can't lay in a hospital bed.
Clunky blood.
Yeah, I can't lay in a hospital bed for 6, 7, 8, 9 days.
So if I slashed you and I wanted you to bleed, I'd have to squeeze it like a
Not now.
peanut
I'm on
butter
blood
jelly.
thinners, bro. I could
Now it comes
blind
out
your
like
ass. Yeah, I could squeeze it and blind you, like, right in your eye.
So you got like old milk. Your blood's like old milk.
Curdled milk.
Yeah. Shit.
So they let me lay there that long. They give me an ultrasound. They tell me my legs are good, and 2 days later, I just passed this little stairs test to go home. Thank God. I say all the time, thank God I have stairs at my home. If I don't, I'm home a day earlier and I'm fucking dead. I collapse on the bed. I tell them, I know I'm clotting. I felt this before. This is what I was worried about. Because one of the surgeons even said, man, you're really worried about that factor V, huh? And I was like, yeah. Because last time I passed all these clots with that hospital telling me there was nothing wrong with me. And I should have been dead. Like the pain is incredible. So I collapse. They rush in. They tell me I could be clotting and having a heart attack. And that's when I blacked out. That would have been death for me. And then I woke up.
Shit.
And there's this little nurse standing over me. And I said,
so what happened?
I said, am I going home today? And she goes, no. Your discharge has been canceled. I was like, yeah, I thought so. And they wheel me to CT scans. And they tell me that my heart is swollen because clots fucking are all covering my lungs.
So wait, did you pass out?
Yeah, I passed out. So that would have been death. I woke back up. They had put me on machines or whatever. I woke, but it's not like I died. I just blacked out. They fucking put me on machines and hustled me to the CT scans to tell me what was going on. They said I had massive pulmonary embolisms covering my lungs. And then it was like 48 hours of you need to call your fucking family and have real conversations because it's touch and go right now. And I was like, huh?
As a comic, did the first call you make to your podcast producer to make sure they got this week's episode out?
Listen, you're gonna laugh. Yeah,
that's what I do. Oh, by the way, listen, man, get it out on time.
So fucking funny you asked that. Well, originally I thought I was just gonna be recovering casually through January. So to make my life easier, I had stacked like 7 episodes or whatever, just so I had enough to cover me. And I had enough to cover. I mean, I have 4 surgeons tell me I should have died that day. It was Emma. They're like, you should have died, all separate. Like you don't even know how fucking lucky you are. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. And I called her and I was like, we getting the episode up. Let's make sure we get the episodes up this week and send me the promos. And then I got all emotional. I was like, and you should look for another job. And she's like, what are you talking about? She started crying. I was like, they told me I could. It's not good right now. If you need a reference, I might be able to give you one. But you did awesome. I was crying. She was crying. She's like, please don't say this. I'm like, I have to tell you that.
Did you say to the doctor, please let me live because this will be a hell of a honeydew?
Like, you know how many downloads I'll get on this?
That's actually a good thing that you have that podcast. So when you go through something hard, you can just
I did an episode. Yeah, I had Daniel Van Kirk there with me, and then we released it already. It's you can go watch it. Go watch it.
Go check
the whole
that out.
Story of the whole fucking ordeal. It was ridiculous, and there was so much going on in there too. And you know, it was. I had to call my daughter's mother and have real talks about life insurance and like it's you might be rolling solo on this for forever.
Were you
here.
scared, freaked out about that? Yeah. Nobody wants to go.
No.
Life's good.
And you think things too, Giannis, too, when it's really in your face. I was like, there's a lot of pieces of shit that are still going to live, and I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Like, that crossed my mind.
Yeah.
And there was a list of people. I was like, this motherfucker's going to live.
They always live. The piece of shit always go on.
Yeah, the roaches.
I love your show, HoneyDew, because
Thank you.
It's like you take mostly comedians on there, and they tell the worst shit, and then we laugh about it. One of my biggest clips that I've had has been from your show.
Is it the shooting one?
The shooting one is like, it's gone like nuts.
It's so fucking good.
Like 5 million on everything.
I mean,
TikTok.
I hope you're getting money off the motherfucker.
Well, visibility for sure. Yeah.
Well, I got tired. Like, here, it's a interesting thing too, because when I'm in the hospital, like anyway, what happens? I have to stay there now. I'm in there for a month. But they don't tell me that. They don't say, because they don't know, hey, you're going to be here 30 days. If somebody would have said that, I could prepare myself for that. But it was, hey, you might be getting out of here tomorrow. And then they test your blood every day. If there's one thing different, you're staying. You got to have fast. You got to get blood tested again. And it's a 2-day process. So I know every time something comes back negative, it's 2 more fucking days. But I'm laying in the hospital bed, and all I'm doing is watching, social media, everybody putting up fucking crowd work clips. And then I'm watching all these algorithms on these things, and I'm starting to learn them and shit and look at them, and I'm like, man, this is all fucking fake. Like, I was talking to Ari. When we first started, all I wanted to do was tell jokes and make people laugh and feel good. Now we got to learn algorithms of apps, and they're all different. Like, how do we let these fucking machines change our art form? It's interesting that, because we all do it. We have to do it. That's what you got to do. But how are we? So I was like, man, we're still powerless. I think it was Sam Morrill. He had a clip up that, I don't know, I guess a Karen complained about it maybe or something, and it was against community guidelines, and they took it down. And I was like, man, here's something that one person could be upset about it, and they're going to do that. That can affect your career. They can kill your social media if they want to. I know Chelsea Lynn said they've killed her Instagram a couple times. And I'm like, God damn, you've had to restart all over again. So I'm like, here we are still with all the power, and we're completely powerless to get it out there because we're, stuck with the YouTubes. I mean, my show is... Every episode, we'll upload the episode in the queue Sunday night for a Tuesday drop. All right, that motherfucker is already limited ads or no ads, instant yellow, instant. And I'm like, how? You said a human salt. We just put the fucking thing up. It's an hour long. How in 10 seconds?
Yeah, an algorithm. Yeah.
We're stuck in that because I believe the reason is, and I'm pretty sure it's right, because people have come on, like you say, and talk about their worst times. I've heard women talk about, and men, rape, incest, molestation, trauma. These are words that the machine doesn't like. And anytime we talk about those, we get dinged. So I don't make money off my shit. And I was telling this YouTube rep, I go, how are we supposed to educate people about all this shit if we can't say these words? Like, this person's not saying I raped someone. They're saying somebody raped me.
It's the removal of context because robots can't understand context.
Exactly.
And it's not a coincidence to me that people act a lot like robots now. Like when you say a word, you're like, wait, listen to the context. It's like, no, they judge you just like the algorithm would, because we're being conditioned by algorithms and AI to act like AI. And I think that's why this era has been really defined by extremists being one-dimensional and yelling about one thing, and then a bunch of grifters acting like they're extremists because that's what the algorithm likes. The same thing over and over again, simple, repetitive, extreme, gets your attention. So we've been conditioned completely by
but we've also been conditioned to put our highlights up, our ESPN reels up, our top 10s up, and I got sick of that. I got sick of seeing somebody that I know personally has cheated on their fucking wife and has done this and that and has been a piece of shit, or they've cheated on their husband, or I know they fucking, like, whatever, hit and run, whatever. And I'm like, oh, over here living your best life, you're full of shit. So I wanted to know what the fuck was really going on in people's lives and the shit that they've overcome or dealt with or are dealing with to get to where they are right now. And the stuff that we like lowlights keep coming. I just almost fucking died. It's not
They
like
never
this
stop.
shit. They never stop.
They never stop. Yeah.
Someone just said, "Do you think the HoneyDew could have longevity?" Like you, I'm like, "Yeah,
I could go do another episode right now.
easy."
I just went through another fucking
But you better
breakdown.
come out and do another one.
I got it. I got a whole nother rep for you.
Come
Yeah.
out.
I mean,
When
that
you're
show
out,
was
you
made
better
for me.
fucking
Yeah,
do it,
I got.
please.
I mean, come on. You
I
kidding
love
me?
you.
What have we covered already? I think I got shot. I think we covered the COVID breakdown I had.
Oh, dude.
And my mother.
That was one of my favorite episodes because it was the polar opposites, but so many people hated us talking
they
about
hate
COVID
us.
that it made me laugh.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
laughed. I was like, God, they hate it. But you're dying in an ambulance and we're riding by singing Christmas carols. Dude. It's still one of my favorite fucking moments.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, what
We got 3 classics. Check those out if you haven't.
That's right. You've been on
The
3
HoneyDew,
times.
I've been on 3 times. Then we talked about my mother's long Alzheimer's
That's right.
decline.
That's
yeah.
right.
So we've had a lot. Yeah, I got another one. I'm ready. Next time I got to
Come on out.
Yeah, I mean, the low lights never stop.
They never stop.
They never stop.
But also,
And it's great to have a show that there's an honest conversation about it.
yeah, we're not
And that's
just
good.
shooting the shit. We're not talking about sports and movies or
You know what
whatever.
it is, dude? And not to cut you off.
Yeah, please.
But just it's important. A show like that's important because, and you see how now like kids are being, becoming depressed. Their suicide rates are up. Teenage girls, it's never been as high because of Instagram and all stuff. It's because of what you said. Everyone's turned into like a McDonald's commercial. So nothing's real out there. So people are out there chasing waterfalls, chasing illusions, trying to keep up with people, who aren't even, that's a lie. They're
real.
a commercial for themselves.
This 9 seconds of this person right here looks awesome.
Yeah.
My life sucks. Like
Right.
this motherfucker is in prison doing that
Yeah.
right now. Okay,
Yeah.
So I've grown a new appreciation for comedians again because comedians have some of the worst shit happen to them and then turn it into a fucking beautiful art form and can sit and laugh about getting shot or find moments in an ugly story to still make people laugh. And it's such a beautiful thing when you get to see comedians in that form because no one's trying to make a joke or out there. It's a real fucking thing in the moment. And I know like I'm that way when I go to therapy. I say shit like that in therapy because I just have to be how are you going to help me if you don't know who I really am? If I'm coming in here as this filter or this character, you're not going to be able to fucking help me.
What makes it so important for society is that it lets people know that whatever bad things they're going through are normal. Because I think the thing that shocks
It's
people
okay
the most.
to not be okay
Yeah, it's okay to not be okay. And also, you're not alone.
at all.
As Seal said, it's the loneliness that's the killer.
That's right.
And it's the truth.
It
It's
is,
the truth.
dude.
When it comes down to it,
Tom Petty also said the waiting is the hardest part. Those 2 things are very fucking
they're
true.
so, dude, the loneliness is at the end of the day, we're a social species. Whether you want to look at it cynically or however religiously, spiritually, we are meant to be in together.
We are.
And when you feel like you're going through something and there's nothing you can find to relate, like or find someone who has went through something that you can relate to, you feel more alone and then you spiral because you feel like you're all alone. And that's the biggest fear, I think, for us as a species. So that's why a show like yours is very important because I can turn it on and go, oh my God, this person who I love, this person who's so funny and is so chipper all the time has gone through all this shit just like me. So I'm not weird.
Right.
I'm normal like
Right.
them.